Hi, 7th grade. Happy Friday. So I just recorded this video and it was 17 minutes long, and so I'm going to shorten that up a lot because first off, I didn't know that there was a time limit that I could do on the YouTube thing, and I've been having trouble all week getting the videos to process on the Google end, so I got to do through the YouTube. So we're going to go a little bit fast through here. Everything is already pre-typed, so we're just going to talk about it. And you're probably thinking, if time is such an issue, then maybe you should shut up about it. And I'm like, okay. So let's go. Miss Sanchez is building a laundry room in the basement of the apartment building that she owns. Given the layout of her basement, she wants the width to be 20 feet, right here, and the length to be longer than the width. That means some number bigger than 20, and the way that you get a number bigger than 20 is by adding something to it. And so that's why we have x plus 20 here. Now, she wants the area of this rectangular room, and remember, area of a rectangle is length times width. She wants that area to be more than, greater than or equal to, 500 square feet. So what could the length be? So look at this diagram that Ms. Sanchez drew. And so here I am talking about length times width has to be greater than the area in question. And so right here we have 20 times x plus 20 has to be greater than 500. Not greater than or equal to, because she says strictly more than 500, not at least 500. And so that is a distributive property type problem there. And so there I did my distribution. 20x plus 400 is greater than 500. And then, and then I subtracted 400 from both sides because that's our single number, that's our constant. And then we got 20x is greater than 100. And then we divided both sides by the coefficient, which was 20. And we got x is greater than 5. Now, the question wasn't, what does x need to be? It means what could be the length. The length must be greater than 25 feet. Because the area needs to be at least 500. So x plus 20, this length has to be at least 25, specifically bigger than 25. Okay, so there's that one. And then looking at this, at the graph that they had in the book, x being bigger than 5, that can be modeled with a solid line on the inequality graph, because you can be 5.2 feet tall, or you can have 5.38 feet, or any of those things. Remember when we were talking about the socks, you could not buy 0.32 pairs of socks. You could not buy 5.5 pairs of socks. So there's that. Okay, this one, I'm going to skip over that. Again, it's about the distributive property, and you take 8 times 12 and you take 8 times 1/4, and remember, when you multiply a whole number by a fraction like that, you divide by the bottom number and then multiply by the top. So 8 divided by 4, which is 2, times 1 is just 2. Okay, and now we go on to page 194. So Coach Thorne has 24 baseballs, but he needs to start the season with at least 100 baseballs, and so that's a greater than or equal to. He has 24 of them, but the baseballs that he uses are sold in packs of 4, and so 4 per pack plus the 24 that he has already needs to be greater than or equal to 100 baseballs. And so how many packages could he buy? Well, we would subtract 24 from both sides, get 4p is greater than 76, and so he needs to buy at least 76 more baseballs. And then we divide by the number touching x, and we get that he needs to buy at least 19 packs of baseballs. Now, if we were to graph this would again be a discrete graph, because you cannot buy 20.3 packs of baseballs, because, first off, that would be like cutting a baseball into some pieces there, and that's not good for anybody, because what are you supposed to do with that? But also, that's not how business works. You buy a specific number of packs. Now you could get, and this is what you get into in Algebra 2, you could get a 4-pack and then buy some single ones, but, that's not what we're talking about right now. All right, Market and More is having a cereal sale. Jane is using this this inequality here to determine the regular price of cereal that she can afford. She has $10. She wants 4 boxes of the same cereal, and she gets 60 cents off of each box. And so the regular price minus 60 cents times 4 boxes needs to be less than or equal to $10, which is what she has. So I went ahead and set up my work here. I went ahead and distributed. So 4 times R and 4 times 0.6, and that was this right here. And then I added 2.4 to both sides, and I got this right here. You see the work, every step. And then here I divided by the number touching x, the coefficient there. And I know that it says R, but that's our mnemonic. So I divided by the coefficient, and it says that R is greater than or equal to 3.1. And so it says, explain what the solution means. So the regular price of Jane's cereal must be at most less than or equal to $3.10 per box. Okay, the next one here, we'll just look through it. This one is one where you have to flip the sign. How do I know I'm going to have to flip the sign right here? Well, because it's got a negative coefficient on the variable term. This minus belongs to that 4.5x, and so this is a positive 200. So I just retyped out the problem here, and then we subtract 200 from both sides, and we slash these two out, and we get negative 4.5x is less than or equal to negative 180. And then we divide by the coefficient, and I didn't type that in here, but if I did, you would be able to see that there's a negative on the bottom of the fraction, which means we are dividing both sides by a negative number, which means we have to flip that sign, just like we did right here. And then it says graph the solution set on a number line. Obviously, I did not do that. I am not entirely sure how I would do that without, finding some pictures, making a drawing, or whatever. And my video was already, so long, so I'm just going to talk through it. We would have our number line, and then at the center we would have 40. Over here we would have some number less than 40, and over here we would have some number greater than 40. And so it says x is greater than or equal to 40. We would put a closed circle on 40, and then think about which of those numbers is greater than or equal to. Remember, the closed circle is because it includes that point. It is equal to 40. Anyway, so the numbers greater than that are going to be off on the right side, and so we would draw our arrow going over here. All right, last question. Greg noted that he had to drive at least 50 miles an hour, and so we're going to write there at least. X is greater than or equal to. That's what at least means, 50 miles an hour. Which one of these graphs shows that? Well, we can knock out D because, when people see at least, the number one mistake that they make is thinking that that means less than. And so, that one's just wrong because at least means greater than or equal to. So then we've got these three, and they're all pretty similar. So we've got this one, it's got an open circle. We've got this one, it has a closed circle, and this one is a discrete set of points. And these are continuous. So let's think about that for a second. If you're looking at the speedometer in your parents' car, then you know that speed is on a continuum of numbers there. It's not just you go 50 miles an hour for a little bit and then you jump up to 60. That's not what that sudden jolt and change in speed is. It's gradually getting faster and faster and faster. So C is not right either. And so that leaves us between A and B. I mean, obviously C is not the right answer because Jess chose it. But between A and B, which one of these is correct? Well, this is greater than or equal to, and that means that it includes 50. And if it includes 50, that means that the dot is filled in. This one means you have to go faster than 50. You cannot go greater than or equal to. And so at the very least, it has to be 50. Is 50 okay? Well, yeah, but that's the bottom that you can go. So letter A is out because B depicts greater than or equal to, so including the point at 50 and going off in the positive direction. All right, guys, that's it from me. Your homework assignment is going to be page 209 and 210. I think I typed it out in the instructions in the blue book. And it's 6 questions. And if you have any problems whatsoever, let me know. Please take a picture of it, either with your Chromebook or with your phone, and attach it into the assignment so that I can see that you did it and we can move on with our lives. After spring break, we're going to be starting geometry, which is my absolute favorite thing to do ever. And we're going to have a good time with that, and I just need you guys to keep on trucking, okay? Have a great spring break. Hopefully the weather will clear up and you can do some outside activities. I know I'm already starting to get agitated being inside and not being able to really do anything. So you guys keep on keeping on, and we'll see you after spring break.